You know, as seen on TV, products are just a staple of American culture. I mean, like you're watching TV during prime time, or even worse, maybe it's like 1 a.m., you can't sleep, and suddenly there's a guy in the kitchen losing his mind over a salad spinner, or a guy with a fancy towel that can suck up a gallon of water, and right then, you're locked in, you're invested. And honestly, it's kind of the same energy with TikTok Shop. Someone holds up a product and tells you that it'll change your life, throws in a free gift if you order right now or in the next 10 minutes, and somehow your wallet is already open. Same tactics, different decade. And look, to be fair, some of these products are actually solid. The clapper, iconic. Life Alert has saved probably millions of lives, literally. I mean, the Snuggie, don't even get my wife started on that one. Things designed for people who apparently couldn't function without a specialized tool for every single task, and some of this stuff actually worked. But then there were others. The products that made you question who greenlit this, or even who the product was for, or maybe if they knew it was a full-blown scam. The ones where the commercial was doing way too much convincing that it was the best thing ever and your life sucked without it. Today, we're talking about some of the dumbest and worst as seen on TV products to ever grace our television screens. So let's start with what I know you all remember, the Fushigi. Now, if you were a kid in the late 2000s, you know exactly about this scam of a product. Well, at least it felt like a scam. The commercial comes on, there's this person and they're just manipulating this orb. It's rolling across his hand, floating between his fingers, levitating, defying gravity in ways that should not be possible for a physical object. And as a kid, I didn't understand what kind of magic this device held, but I wanted to harness the powers of these wizards in the commercials that they were displaying. I never knew a single person that actually owned one, but I wanted one so bad. I needed it. What was this mystical silver orb, and why didn't I have it yet? And why were they just selling it for $20 online? So what actually was a Fushigi? Well, it was a silver ball encased in clear acrylic plastic, and that's kind of it. Honestly, there's nothing special about it. No gravity defying technology, no magic, unfortunately, just a ball. See, what the commercials conveniently left out is that what the people in the ad were doing has an actual name. It's called contact juggling. And that is a real skill that real performers have been doing for decades. It requires practice, coordination, and patience, but the Fushigi didn't come with any way to just instantly download all of those skills to your child's brain. So what did it come with? The DVD. They handed you a ball and they handed you a disc and said, good luck. And if you couldn't make it look like the commercial, well, that's a skill issue. The real kicker is that you could go buy a professional grade contact juggling ball for the same price or less and get probably the exact same results. I mean, the only thing the Fushigi sold you was a cool name and a dream, but the next product also sold people a dream, but it was ridiculed all over the internet. That's right, I'm talking about the Shake Weight. The Shake Weight released in 2009, and on the surface, it sounds like a legitimate fitness product. It's a weighted dumbbell that you shake. The idea was that the vibration created something called dynamic inertia, sure, which would supposedly engage your muscles more than a regular dumbbell and give you a more effective workout in less time. 6 minutes a day was apparently all you needed to get toned arms and abs. The commercial had this serious and professional vibe. People in workout gear, sweat on their foreheads, totally committed to the bit. The claims were that you'd increase muscle activity by up to 300% compared to traditional weights, which is impressive number. There was even a women's version and a men's version, the men's version being slightly heavier. So did it work? Well, researchers actually tested it and they found that the Shake Weight produced no significant greater muscle activation than a regular dumbbell. The dynamic inertia technology was just not a real thing, just marketing. You could get the same workout with a normal dumbbell, but even if that was the case, the Shake Weight sold over 2 million units. I've been very professional up to this point, but I think we all know what everyone was thinking this entire time that the commercial was on. And apparently the writers of South Park thought the same thing, because in 2010, they made a whole episode called Cream Frage where the Shake Weight gets his own storyline with Stan's wife. And the direction they took it is exactly what you're thinking and then some. I mean, it's very hilarious and very iconic of an episode, but regardless of the criticism, they sold 2 million units. It became part of popular culture. It made so much money from this silly little idea. But let's head on to the next product, the Head on? Head on, applied directly to the forehead. You might have heard this scary and creepy commercial. Is one of the most aggressive and annoying things to ever air on television. It was loud, it repeated itself over and over. You swear it would never end. It felt like the commercial was trying to hypnotize us, and at no point, not once, did it tell you what head on actually did. I'm still not sure what it does. Not what it treated, not what it relieved, not why you'd want to rub a mysterious stick on your forehead in the first place. What was in the stick? Just apply it directly to your forehead. Apply it directly to your forehead. Apply it directly to your forehead. And here's the wild part. Head on is a homeopathic product, which means it's essentially a mix of wax on a stick, and there was no active medicinal ingredients inside of it. And because of that, the company literally could not make any medical claims about what it did. They couldn't say it cured headaches. They couldn't say it relieved pain. Legally, they had nothing to say. They could only tell you what to do with it and let your brain fill in the rest. And I guess that kind of worked somehow. You assumed it was for headaches because you put it on your forehead. That was the entire strategy. Make you assume, but never confirm. Sales jumped 234% in a single year, going from 1.9 million to $6.5 million between 2005 and 2006. And they were on pace to double again the year after that. All from a commercial that said absolutely nothing. Whereas the product was made for the head, this next one is made for your feet. Imagine someone walks up to you and says, hey, I have this pad you stick on the bottom of your feet while you sleep, and overnight it'll suck all the toxins out your body. What do you say to that person? Because apparently a lot of people heard that same pitch and were immediately sold. KINOKI foot pads hit the airwaves in the late 2000s, claiming to do exactly that. Stick these adhesive pads on the bottom of your feet before bed, wake up, and boom, all the toxins in your body gone. But they didn't stop there. They also claimed the pads could treat high blood pressure, depression, insomnia, diabetes, and lead to weight loss, all from essentially a sticker on your foot. Their way of proving it was by having the pads turn brown overnight. So you'd see a dark discolored pad as evidence that something was being pulled out of your body, but convincing enough apparently for most people. Except here's the thing. Independent testing showed that the powder in the pads would darken as it came into contact with any moisture. So sweaty feet, sure. Or even plain tap water. The feet pads would turn brown basically because of your sweat from your body, which does not have the toxins. Let me be clear about that. Also, for anyone out there, your body has a natural way of getting toxins. It's called peeing and pooping. So, you know, just the note there. People will believe and buy almost anything because the idea of passive, overnight, and effortless solution is genuinely appealing. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You just sleep and you'll be healthier. It's easy. Unfortunately, the FTC charged the marketers with false advertising, and a federal judge ordered them to pay $14.5 million, the entire total revenue from the sale of the KINOKI foot pads. They had to pay back every single dollar they made, and then they went broke. Sucks to suck. Now, this next one I'd have a personal story about. I'm like 14 or 15 years old, Sam's Club with my family. And you know how Sam's Club is. Someone's always doing a demo. They're giving out product samples, product demonstrations. Someone's trying to sell you something that you absolutely don't need. I walked past this little crowd of maybe like 4, 5, 6 people gathered in a circle around this lady who's doing a demonstration on another lady. And even back then as a teenager, before I even knew what this product was, like something felt off. The energy was weird. It had a whole vibe of this is not a product demo, but a magic trick being shown, like for entertainment. She was demonstrating basically a balance bracelet, specifically something like the I Renew balance bracelet, a little rubber wristband with a metal insert that claimed to balance the body's biofield to improve wellness, balance, flexibility, and strength. So why did they never teach me about the biofield in school, in science class, in health class? I want to improve my biofield. Essentially, they have you hold your arm out straight with one leg in the air and push down on it. Without the bracelet, you'd wobble, of course, because you're not expecting someone to push down on it and make you fall. And then they put the bracelet on you, push down again, a little lighter, of course, and suddenly you felt more stable, more balanced. The bracelet was working. My biofield was fixed, except it wasn't. The whole thing relied on simple physics to fool you. The second time they push on your arm, you know what's coming, so your body naturally braces for it. Also, they just push on you lighter the second time. The bracelet had nothing to do with it. It was a psychological trick dressed up as a product demonstration, and it worked on a lot of people. A lot of famous athletes, specifically Kobe Bryant, the amazing LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant, and Paul Pierce were all spotted wearing them, not even being paid to, just wearing them, which meant that every kid who idolized these guys suddenly felt like they needed one too. Once again, the company had to settle 2 class action lawsuits for false advertising, and the Power Balance, probably the most famous version of the bracelet, eventually admitted in writing that there was no credible scientific evidence supporting their claims and later filed for bankruptcy. Now, all these products have been embarrassing in either one way or another, but this next one, could genuinely ruin your reputation at work. I'm talking about the Hawaii chair. Yes, it's called the Hawaii chair. Stick with me. Here's a quick tip. The tagline for it was, if you can sit, you can get fit. Yes, a lot of these products are weird health and fitness stuff. They're just lying to you everywhere about this. But basically, it's an office chair with a motor underneath the seat that forces your hips to rotate like in a hula motion. I mean, they genuinely market this thing as something that you could use all day at your desk, answering emails, taking phone calls, filing paper, all with a straight face. No joke, just sitting here. Imagine I did the whole video just wiggling. Like, the chair claimed it would give you a narrow, well-defined waist and that you could thaw and loosen redundant. How would that even work? It was probably also loud as hell too. I mean, handling customer service phone calls out of breath for 8 hours straight, trying to eat your lunch, and then you decide to bring soup today, but soup spilling all over your pants. Nobody is getting work done. Nobody is focused, and you're just huluing at your desk. Even Ellen DeGeneres agreed. She tried to pour a glass of water and conduct an interview by using the Hawaii chair on its highest setting, and of course it didn't go well. I mean, eventually Time magazine listed as one of the 50 worst innovations of 2010, so congratulations, it made one great list. And finally, we have the potty putter. Now, who was this product made for? Let me paint you a picture. It was made for men who sit on the toilet way too long and get hemorrhoids. Men who want to avoid their families. Men who, when they aren't golfing, wish they were golfing. Like me. That's the target audience. That's who they looked at and said, we've got something for you. The potty putter is exactly what it sounds like. A miniature putting green that fits around the base of your toilet, complete with a cup and flag labeled number 2 hole. 2 balls, 1 putter, and a do not disturb door hanger. I mean, you're gonna be set for hours practicing your short game in there. And the commercial played this completely straight. No winking at the camera, no acknowledgement, just how absurd this was. Just a serious infomercial for a serious product solving a serious problem. And what was that problem exactly? Well, according to the commercial, when you're bored in the bathroom, you rush, and that's not healthy. Coming back to health all again. They genuinely use your digestive health as a selling point for this device. You're not just buying a toilet golf set, you're investing in your well-being. Now look, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that nobody needed this. Clearly somebody bought it. It's still being sold today. There's apparently an entire market of men who looked at their bathroom and thought, man, this could really use a putting green right now. It's just so weird that you're so obsessed with golf, and it's like, man, you could be optimizing your time in the restroom by practicing your putting. Anyway, it's a product that no one really asked for, that somehow a lot of people wanted. I think it's also kind of a gag gift now, but there's your list. A couple products that looked you dead in the eye and told you that they would change your life and delivered absolutely really nothing to the world except maybe a twisted ankle and some embarrassment, a dizzy spell. These were niche products that real people bought, and the companies behind them made millions. Well, until some of them got shut down. But anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I genuinely want to know, drop in the comments for me, the most ridiculous as seen on TV products that you ever wanted as a kid, or that you actually bought and had, or that your parents bought and had, and you were confused why they had it, because I want to know that I'm not the only one who really tried to hand over their allowance for a magic gravity orb. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.